Well, there's a pride increase with every year, I wonder. You know, she's 81 in December. Does she get any more proud? I hope she is, you know. I hope she is.
Did she have more children than you guys?
No, just the two of us. I think it was probably enough to be going on with.
Yeah.
You know. But we've both got kids. I've got 3 and Craig's got 4, so...
You got 5 between you. That's
so,
really good.
You know.
Have either of you got twins?
No. But they say it's supposed to skip a generation.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's true.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what you guys look like?
is it going to be good or is it going to be
You
bad?
just look like a couple of really happy, loved and loving guys. That's
I hope both is true, you know. I hope both is true. I hope that that there's some affection from the children we have in the family, and we certainly. I think we're both people who, I wouldn't say we're outwardly affectionate, but I mean we don't come from a culture that really is, but we're certainly inwardly loving. Yeah.
being with you, I feel like there's a lot of affection around you. I feel it quite strongly, actually.
Yeah, it depends. It depends who you speak to. I think there's some people like us, some people don't, but it doesn't matter.
No.
I think it's important to work the people you work with, that you get on with them, because most of the guys, certainly all the boys in the band, and Tom, our tour manager, Kenny, our manager, we've worked with these guys. In terms of Tom and Kenny, we've worked with them for 25 years, so you've got to be able to get on with people, and to make it work, I think there's got to be a level of respect and some affection there, or you couldn't paper over the cracks over 25 years. You have to have some liking for each other, I think.
You've been musicians for 25 years, but also being twins. You've been working in music as twins for 25 years. What a gift.
We can't really do anything else. We're not qualified to do anything else, to be honest. But we like doing it, so we're in bands from teenage years, long before we ever made it, you know. So we're making music from the age of about 15 together in bands. So it's just something we always wanted to do, and we're still doing it.
I can't imagine how sweet you must have been when you were 15.
I think sweet is perhaps not the word.
No,
really. Some may have thought of sweet. Who knows? Who knows? Underneath the surface, underneath the peels of ridicule, there may have been some people who thought it sweet, but I always thought we're probably pretty awkward. I think a lot of people are at 50, but I think we were always pretty awkward. We lived in a little village in Fife, which is a nice enough little place, but it's pretty small. All we wanted to do was get out, be in a band, move away from home, and eventually over the course of the next couple of years we did it. So I think we were all right. I don't think sweet's the word.
How did you come to that decision? That's a big
to make
decision.
To make music.
To make music and to leave the village.
It was easy. You kind of made it for you. I think you want. I want to play music from the age of 11, and there was no way we could do it the way we wanted to do it, living in a small village. So we got away really as soon as we could. It wasn't we were always going to do it, you know.
I think had we been living in somewhere like Bristol or Edinburgh or Glasgow, maybe we would have carried on living at home, you know, and that you were in a bigger place. But given the fact that where we were, and we couldn't drive, we didn't have any money, we didn't have jobs or anything, you know. So that was the thing. You really had to get out and make your way, but in a city, I think.
But then you must have had that musical fire in you.
Yeah, that's what drives you. I mean, that's why we're still making music.
Yeah.
25 years after we first signed a record deal, and still playing live, which is the best bit, because we want to do it, and there's luckily enough there's still an audience for it.
I don't agree with that luckily enough bit, but it's a good thing for us and for you that you're able to do it.
You've got to have some fortune, or luck may be the wrong word, but good fortune. You need some. You need to avoid illness. You need to get the occasional break. You need to have some people like you. You need to avoid, going across a junction at the wrong time and getting knocked down and killed. I mean, people. There's plenty really talented people out there. There's plenty of people who've got so much to offer. and for whatever reason they don't get the right break at the right time. So I would consider that poor fortune, and I would consider what we did to be good fortune. We did work at it a lot, and we did persist a lot.
Can you remember when you were... Was it 11 that you made that decision?
I
Was
knew
it
11. I think 11
I
was
wasn't
good.
as young as that. I would say probably by mid-teens I pretty much knew that we wanted to do that. I mean, I would say there was no fluctuation. At some point you considered getting a normal job, because we had a long periods where we didn't have any money and no proper work, no official work. So I think that a couple of times both of us, the kind of confidence wobbled 2 or 3 times probably. But it was all we really wanted to do. So when the opportunity came, when we met our manager Kenny, and then within weeks we got a tour with the Housemartins.
Yeah.
2 things. So for a previous 5 or 6 years, nothing really happened, and then suddenly everything happened almost all at once. So
I remember that. too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you still had to... you still had to have this collective commitment to music, and I'm trying to figure out how that actually evolved out of where you were living.
I don't think it does. I think it might be affected by where you're living, but I think if you want to make music, you want to make music. And I think we're lucky in the sense that it was the 2 of us. So if we'd start with playing bands and lots of different bands, and then eventually we split the last one up and we went out as the Proclaimers, just the guitar and the 2 voices and the tambourine, because we could do it that way. So I think that's, we were lucky that the 2 of us, and we had the same desire to do the same thing. But I think if you want to play music, you will do it. You will do it.
Did you have a situation whereby you were sort of like fiddling around with music or something, and then it came together and you guys suddenly thought...
It came together when we
do
started
this.
as a Proclaimers. That's when it went straight away. It changed from being something that was derivative, and it maybe a bit interesting, not a few decent things, but because there was no bass, guitar and drums, we had to, the songs had to be better straight away. We had to use the voices much more, and the songs became more interesting from the moment we started writing, just the 2 of us. It was a lot better, and from the moment we started playing, people actually took notice where they hadn't really done it before.
there's no doubt that's what it is. It's the sound of the 2 of us singing, and the best records we make are based on that. The 2 of us singing.
Yeah.
I think the best what things we've done recording are based on the understanding that the sound is the 2 of us singing.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you each know how the other feels when they're singing?
I think we feel similar at the time. You might we do so many shows, you can't be feeling exactly the same thing at the same time all the time. But
And you can't know exactly what the other one's thinking all the time, but you would hope that we both get it. I think that in terms of the lyrics and in terms of the way things are put over, maybe the humour or whatever in the songs, I think you would hope Craig and I get it better between each other than maybe they would be with other people, maybe.
Do you feel that you do?
yeah, I think we do.
Yeah.
So, because you're twins, it's such a fantastic thing, isn't it? So, what I would guess from your performance when you're performing together is that when you're performing and you're playing together and stuff, and you reach that moment, it's that point where it's like cream and it's just together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just the instruments; it's the mind as well.
Mm.
Is that
I think it has to be. I think you have to have some. It could fall apart if you're not. That's why we tend to rehearse a lot. Sometimes some of the newer songs are not as rehearsed as some of the older songs by definition.
Yeah.
We've been playing some of the older songs 20 years or 25 years. But we do rehearse a lot. We do it for the voices. I mean, voices are tired now, we're into the tour. But we do it so as when you hit the stage, you are unified. And that's not just for Craig and I, that's for the rest of the band. I think you've got to look like you know what you're doing. It's much more powerful that way. You focus your energy better by doing it.
Do you think being twins, because I think being a twin is a big deal. Yeah?
Mm.
Do you think that being twins has given you a strong anchor in that way?
Maybe. I think more honestly, I think the fact that we've played music together for so long is a stronger thing than being twins.
Right.
I think that the fact that we had desire, as I said, we had the desire to make music at the same time. I'm not saying it that the twin. Obviously, you are closer. You are closer than other siblings. You are, but I think it's a lot of it is just practice and playing and writing together. And I think that's what builds up any. There's plenty of people who come together in bands and who are not related at all, but who form a fantastic partnership.
Yeah.
It's maybe easier for siblings, I think, but I think just the working at the music and playing year in year out, I think that's a
I
strong
think
thing.
things are also more likely to endure for a longer period if you're siblings. And yeah, some siblings don't get on, but then some siblings who don't get on can make very good music. It can be very powerful in bands, and you can think many examples. So I don't know. I think there's pros and cons for it. I think what Craig and I have was very important when we weren't getting anywhere, you know, because there is an emotional thing and a desire, a common understanding of a common purpose that may not be obvious to people who are outside, may not even be obvious to parents or people close to you. You know, there was a common desire and a common understanding that we both had that desire, and that led to a common purpose.
That must have made you very powerful at that time.
I think it did. I think we intimidated people, to be honest, and I think that people find twins weird. People are fascinated by them, but they find them a bit weird. To be honest, if I was on the outside looking in, I'd find twins a bit weird. I don't find them weird because so.
I guess that being a twin just means that you're allowed to live more, obviously, with more love. That's what I imagine.
I don't know. Obviously, never having not been a twin, I wouldn't be able to say.
Be interesting if we'd had another brother or sister, if we'd feel closer to each other or closer to them. But we don't know, because we never did. So. Having said that, there are plenty of twins who don't get on. But I think, I would guess the majority do. And some are extremely close, and some are, I would have to say, probably a lot closer than Craig and I are. We've both got kids, and we've not got young kids, we've both got sort of adult kids. So I think maybe you're bound to drift apart a little when you have your own families and stuff, you know, and then your focus changes onto something else, so it's bound to. But yeah, I think it would be interesting had we had other brothers and sisters to see what the relationship was like between them and between all three of us or four of us.
Over the years, do you feel that your musical ambition, and I don't use that word in a commercial sense, I use it in the integrity sense, do you feel that your musical ambition has changed over the years?
No, I think it's the same. I think it's. I think we still make music for the reasons that we did. Obviously, it's nice making money from it as well, but we still want to write. You know, if it would be different if we didn't never put new records out. If you just came around every couple of years and it was just the same old stuff, but it's not. We always make new records. And we try and write better songs and we try and do better shows, so that's what was kind of was the key to everything we did. It wasn't even making records,
no.
It was writing songs and playing our own songs. So no, I don't think it's changed.
I don't think it has. I think we do it for the right reasons. We do it because we want to make music, we do it because we want to make a statement. Well, it's all ego driven. I mean, anybody gets up on a stage and tells a joke or sings a song is going to have an ego or something that they need to express and something that they need to be validated for. I don't know. I think performing is different to writing, but the two things are linked. There's the thing of when you finish the song and when you're rehearsing it and you just maybe the two of us and you realise it's going to go down well, you project onto the performance of it. Performance is addictive. Performance has become addictive for me definitely over the last 10 years. Yeah.
Which bit is it?
The love of the audience, I think. The you know, it's not exactly the roar of a crowd and the smell of grease paint, but there is something addictive about getting on a stage, even when it's difficult, even when your voice is shot or whatever. There's something addictive about getting on a stage and getting warmth back from the audience. Yeah.
Is it like a sharing thing?
I think it is. I
It's,
think
but
also,
you get the biggest share because you're the one on stage. So
I think
it is shared, but you get it's not an equal thing at all. No, it's
I
not.
think you also get fuel from it. You get fuel to go on, just by the fact that people respond. If they respond, and hopefully respond positively to what you do, so that fuels your desire to do it again and to write more songs and to keep it going. Yeah.
There's something underlying all that, isn't there?
Insecurity, perhaps. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. No, something to do with liking people, I think.
I wonder if
I don't
performers.
know
Do
if
you know what?
that's
Tell you
true.
what?
I don't know.
I wonder
I don't
if
think this is
performers
true.
don't. Many performers, and I would think maybe Craig and I fall into this category to some degree, or maybe not. Were not as young people that good with people, and I don't mean didn't like them, but maybe communication wasn't all it could be, or trust wasn't all it could be. So there's a kind of. It's a kind of relationship with nowadays with the internet, and it's a relationship with everybody who ever wants to get to know you. It's kind of a bit weird now. The internet has made things slightly, really quite odd, I think.
But the internet has never changed what it is to actually be in a crowd to watch somebody live. And the internet
No,
is not
what I'm
fit
saying
for
is that the relationship, I think the relationship with many people in performance is that they're not terribly good one-to-one, or in terms of maybe their families or friends.
I
or
think
maybe
there's a
not
lot of
great.
people. I think there's a lot of people who get up on stage who hate people. I don't agree. I think there's lots.
Well,
of different-
certainly neither
I
of
think
us
there's-
fall in that
It's
category.
not. It's not hate to certainly not hate, but I think there's some people who are really unpleasant people and have really got real problems. And I think that's it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
outlet for them. So
But some
I don't
of
think it's
them are very
necessarily-
good performers.
Exactly. So
No.
I don't think it's necessarily liking people. I think it's a compulsion.
Maybe it's a control thing. Maybe it's a control thing. I'm looking at it from all angles. That maybe you get on a stage, and individually, the people out there you might like or might not like. Collectively, you might like or might not like, because an audience takes on an entity of its own. But you can kind of control it a little bit by playing the chords you do and structuring a set the way you do, and there maybe is a bit in that. But it's not. You're not trying to change anybody's point of view, really. You're just trying to get across to people, and then they take from it what they take from it. You hope that they can share some of the feelings in the songs. You hope they get it, but you're not trying to really change the point of view. You're only trying to express yourself.
What's the most exciting thing that has happened to you musically, individually and together? So I want to know from each of you individually.
I couldn't put any one thing. I think writing songs and playing them is the best thing, and I couldn't isolate any incident and say that was the best bit. I couldn't isolate one gig and ever say that was there's ones that are more clear in the memory, but I couldn't answer them.
I think there's a feeling that you get writing a song that is not replicated with anything else, and there's a feeling you get playing to an audience that is never replicated with anything else, and those things they become what you do and what you are, really. I believe that's what I'm here for. I don't believe in religion, really. I don't believe in fate. I believe that you to some degree can shape your own fate by believing in something enough, either individually or in a faith or something like that. I think to some degree people have moved mountains by that, but I think we have made our own fate to some degree by doing this, which is, we're very lucky, because so many people seem to get tossed around and never seem to get a break and never seem to get anything that they can shape and form. We've been very lucky to be able to shape and form a career. The control thing for us in terms of not being jerked about by a record company, not being jerked about by management or publicists or anything like that, that's very important, that we do things on our own terms. So that in itself has been a confidence booster and a maker of the character that we have, because we only wanted to do it in our own way. We weren't really interested in doing it just for the sake of doing it. And therefore, the kind of things like the talent shows now, where you're being shaped and moulded in a certain way. Some of these people are very talented, but it's not something I'd want to be involved in,
That's
because
not true, is it?
they are the puppet, and the puppeteer
Yeah.
is the guy in the background, and I never want to be anybody's puppet. Neither did Craig.
Your music doesn't sound like a puppet, and it
No.
never could,
No.
and that's the difference, I think. So if you apply what you've just said to your future, then do you have any desires other than continuing to write and perform?
No. I don't think it. I think it's enough. What we do, what we get every night is reward enough. You couldn't really. You've no right to expect anything. You've got a right to fight and do what you want and try and form your own world, but you don't have a right to expect anything back in return. We've been extremely lucky. I think if you have an ability and you can move people and you can do it, you should carry on doing it as long as you can. And I think some people quit too early. Some people should be shot so they do quit. And there's not many of them, but I think if you can do it, I think if you've got something that's real and that has emotional power like we do, I think you have I think you should carry on. I don't say you have a duty. I think you should carry on as long as you can.
I think that as well, definitely.
Whatever gift you're given.
I do think that.
You do it as well. Some nights it's tough. Some nights, things go wrong, whatever. Physically, as we get older, I think both of us find that the touring schedule and stuff, it is harder than it was 10 years ago, certainly than it was 20 years ago. But some things get easier. We work with good people. We have good people around us, people that we like, and people that get us, and that makes life more tolerable, even when things are getting a bit rough. But as long as we can do it, I believe we will do it. And when we know we can't, or we're not doing it justice, I would hope we'd have the integrity to leave it, just walk.
In terms of your writing, do you feel that your writing and the content of your music, not just lyrically, but also in terms of it technically, do you feel that has changed? Do you feel that has changed?
I think it has, because you just keep doing it. If you're writing a song now, it's not the same as writing a song when you were 20, 23, 24. You can't. It's not going to be the same thing. And things have changed. You've changed musicians. You've changed producers. You've changed this and changed that. Technology's changed. So it's changed in that respect. But I think that I still think the essence of what we try and get out of songs is the same.
I think so. And we try to not write the same song twice. There are recurring themes. I think recurring themes that come through most people's work, and I'm sure we keep going back to them. But you don't want to write the same song 2 times in a row, and you want to write a better song. There must be a thing. I don't know. There are certain tunes that people have written that they must wonder are so good that they must wonder could I ever match that again. I've never felt that. That's one of the things that keeps us going. I've never felt that we couldn't do as well or better again. So that's a good thing to drive on as well.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think so. I think you've always got if you're working at it and you think you can produce, so a lot of it's just producing enough stuff, working enough times, and some of it is like roulette. I think if you work enough, sooner or later, it's going to land on your number, and you'll get it. And most of the time it won't be like that. Sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes it's like falling off a log. So I think the more that you work, the luckier you get.
What do you like other than music?
Reading, being with my family, going to football. That's about it.
Yeah, I think company as well. I think kids, if your kids go anything about them, eventually they don't want that much to do with you day to day, because you grow up and move on. That's right. Company and pleasant people. You know, people have got something to say. Some people, you know, they say lots, but they have nothing to say. So people have got something to say. They're good as well.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's been an
Thank you.
extraordinary privilege.
Thank you.